From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
On the third day of testimony in the murder trial of a Broadwater County Sheriff's deputy, it was learned the deputy's patrol vehicle was shot up more than 20 times. I'll tell you the details coming up.
For years, hearing loss and hearing aids were not covered under Medicare, but could that soon change? But at what cost? We look at the debate over expanding what's included in Medicare in depth next.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that beautiful?
I can't say anything. I'll just let that sit there for a minute.
Yeah, you were going to.
Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here. Beautiful morning out there. I love this time of year because it's the perfect temperature. Not too hot, not too cold.
Yep.
Unless you're in West Yellowstone, that's
And
a little
then
bit
it's
too
always-
cold.
it's all-
a
for
little
you
bit too
it
cold,
is.
yeah, but still beautiful.
Temperatures in West right now holding into the 20s, 27 degrees. Our temperature in West Yellowstone, 33, in Butte, 41, in Belgrade. We're getting to that time of year where these early morning temperatures flirt with freezing a little more often. Temperatures right now are chilly. The afternoon back into the 70s. It's going to be a pleasant afternoon. Not a lot of wind, not a lot of cloud cover, a decent amount of sun, and not too much smoke. We still have a little bit of smoke and haze in our skies. We'll talk about our air quality and much more coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:31 now. Yesterday, day 3 of the trial of a man accused of helping his son murder a Broadwater County Sheriff's deputy. Killed in the attack was Deputy Mason Moore. Moore had served with the Broadwater County Sheriff's Office for 3 years, served in law enforcement for a total of 15 years. Moore also served as a volunteer after hours with the Three Forks Fire Department. Moore was 42 when he was killed, survived by his wife Jody and 3 children. Jody has since established the Mason Moore Foundation, creating grants to pay for equipment officers may not be able to afford. Now, in that murder trial yesterday, an expert witness testified to the many shots that were fired at the deputy's patrol vehicle in the morning he was killed some 4 years ago. MTN's John Amy listened in and once again reports this morning from Butte.
On the third day of testimony in Lloyd Barris's deliberate homicide by accountability charge, it was learned that the patrol vehicle of Broadwater Deputy Mason Moore, who was killed in the line of duty in May of 2017, was so shot up and so full of blood that even a seasoned ballistic investigator found it difficult to do his job.
This was one of the hardest things for me to process and just keep my professionalism.
Did you feel like you did that?
I did the best of my abilities.
Prosecutors allege Lloyd Barris was driving when his son Marshall, who was in the passenger seat, shot Deputy Moore while he was attempting to pull them over for speeding early May 16th, 2017 on Highway 287 near Three Forks. One of the 3 bullets that struck the deputy's windshield hit Moore in the head, and he died shortly afterward. Lloyd Barris is accused of driving away and then returning a few minutes later, where the investigator said 19 more shots were fired into the deputy's patrol vehicle. The investigator testified some of those bullets could have struck the already mortally wounded Moore.
So if Mason Moore at this point is shot, I cannot tell you where he's positioned in the seat. So if he's now positioned against the door, is that possible that these bullets were missing? It's possible. If he slumped over closer towards the passenger side, would these bullets impact him? That's probable.
The defense is arguing that Lloyd Barris had no intention of murdering the deputy that night and was only helping his son. Marshall Barris would be killed in a shootout with police the morning of the deputy's death after leading police on a wild pursuit to Missoula County. Lloyd, who was the driver of the car, surrendered during the shootout. Agent Poplar testified the cab of Deputy Moore's vehicle was covered with blood.
Tissue and biological material, like definitely smaller spatter spots, would appear to be bodily fluid, were everywhere from the front passenger side seat area to where the driver was seated. And just there was spatter throughout. It appeared to be a very violent.
Testimony is expected to continue through this week. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
As John mentioned, Dr. Kurtzman from the medical examiner's office is expected to testify today, also a blood spatter expert. 6:34 now, hearing. It's something millions of Americans struggle with each year, and it's something that statistically gets worse as you age. But for the most part, the government has stayed out of providing and funding hearing aids for hearing loss. But could that soon change? Our Joe St. George has a look at a policy that can impact you or your loved one's pocketbook.
I was actually diagnosed with a hearing loss in my early 20s.
Hillary Cohen is someone who isn't afraid to admit it. Hearing everything from cars on the road to a concert can be a challenge, and she's not alone. 1 in 8 people in this country over the age of 12 suffers from hearing loss in both ears. Nearly 50% of those 75 and older have disabling hearing loss. That's according to the National Institute on Deafness.
There's this one that's called behind the ear.
As a result, Hillary wears hearing aids, but there's a problem, she says. Medicare does not cover hearing loss in most cases, and millions of older Americans don't get the help they need with their hearing as a result.
The best thing that ever happened turning 65 was having Medicare, except for the hearing aids.
Hillary says the out-of-pocket costs of these devices add up. Hearing aids can cost thousands of dollars.
And I've talked to so many people that decide not to get the hearing aids because it's just too expensive.
Lawmakers have talked about changing what's covered under Medicare for years, but with not much success. However, for the moment, there's optimism that this year will change that. Democrats have included hearing loss coverage under Medicare in their massive multi-trillion-dollar spending proposal. The cost, $300 billion over 10 years, with that estimate including covering dental and vision for the first time, too. Democrats want to raise taxes on higher income earners in order to pay for it.
When Medicare came to be many years ago, it was seen as it's not really that important.
Dr. Frank Lynn is the director of the Cochlear Center for Hearing and Public Health at Johns Hopkins University. He says the reason hearing isn't covered right now is that when Medicare was created back in the 1960s, hearing loss wasn't seen as a big deal. It is now. He's leading a study connecting hearing loss with dementia.
When we treat hearing loss, do we in fact reduce the rate of dementia and healthcare costs in older adults? So that's a tremendously important study. We see less than 15% of people who have a hearing loss actually use a hearing aid.
But still, there remains questions whether this will actually become law. Many moderate Democrats on Capitol Hill are growing uneasy at the prospect of spending more government money, and Republicans are poised to unanimously vote against any major spending bills over fears that tax increases and too much spending will raise prices on most things that people buy. But regardless of whether hearing loss gets covered soon, major changes involving hearing are set to take place in the coming months, when hearing aids are expected to be available for purchase over the counter for the very first time. As for Hillary, a bit of advice if you're watching this and thinking of getting help.
But it will change your life.
In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
1 year ago, 28 homes were destroyed by the Bridger Foothills fire, and we were one of the first news crews to come up into the burn scar while the fire continued to burn. And meanwhile, just down the hill from here, thousands were coming together to raise and rally donations for those who lost their homes. Bill Fenigers was one of them. We visited him last time, and now, as you can see, he is rebuilding.
It's been a long year trying to figure it all out.
Driving up the road to where Bill Fenigers' home used to stand is a drive through a color spectrum. The trees turned from green back to black and brown. To Bill, with around 30 homes lost, a total of 68 structures destroyed, it's like night and day a year later.
In our development, we lost, 5 houses were lost out of 22. Everything was still so black. The ground, no trees. We took down almost 1,500 trees on our 25 acres.
There isn't a picture frame, there isn't a dish, there isn't a fork.
Looking back to that day and the last few seconds of front porch captured on Bill's home camera, he and his wife Sally lost everything in seconds. But while he remembers that part, that's not the part he holds on to now.
The core of the people that we know for all those years is what has risen to the occasion for Sally and I.
Neighbors helping neighbors.
You know where we filmed originally? He's donating to build me a new flagpole.
Bill's flag, replaced by former Gallatin County Sheriff Brian Gutkin as the fire continued to burn elsewhere, is a part of the future ground plan. And yes, he still has it.
I've told him how much it meant to me and the flag that he put up. We've kept that flag, and that flag will be the one that will fly on the new flagpole. We can look at the mountain and we know what happened. It's just amazing how nature preserves the goodness that comes out of the soil. The scars need to be there to remind people what it's all about. And so we don't forget that things can happen.
As for Bill, he says his home is expected to be complete again in 1 more year. In the Bridger Canyon foothills, I'm Cody Boyer, MTN News.
So 2 years to get his life back to where it was before that fire. 6:40, we're going to take a break. When we come back, lawmakers want retail giant Amazon to explain itself over fake COVID cures sold on the site. What investigators say is happening, coming up. But first, here's Gail King with a look at what's coming up at 7 o'clock on CBS Mornings.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS Mornings, Hurricane Nicholas makes landfall in Texas this morning. We're tracking the storm that is hammering people that are still reeling from Ida. That's not good. Also, SpaceX's historic first all-civilian crew will include a cancer survivor. Hear the inspiring note to her younger self as she prepares for blast-off tomorrow. And he has played Spider-Man, and the co-founder of Facebook, Andrew Garfield, joins us to talk about his latest role. He's playing the infamous televangelist Jim Baker. We'll see you 7 o'clock straight up.